What's up guys, I'm BTC. Today we got a brand new Archives event, Storm Rising, but unfortunately, and I hate to say this, it's not very good. This is a video I really did not want to make. After I played the event, the new game mode, looked at all the new stuff, I felt that it was just really lackluster, but then I thought, maybe it's just me. But it wasn't. There was a ton of other people making comments on my other videos, in my Discord, on Twitter, all over the place saying roughly the same thing, and that's the event just isn't really that good. Now, I understand there's a fine line between being ungrateful for something you get for free versus providing valuable feedback and constructive criticism, and I'm really trying to do the latter with this video. Blizzard, if you're watching, I really enjoyed the previous Archive events. Archive event is by far my favorite, and I always look forward to it. Uprising was amazing, Retribution was even better, and I don't want to say that Storm Rising is terrible, but it's certainly not all that good either. I don't want to drag this video out too much, so let's just run through the good and the bad. I'll start with the good. The opening cinematic and the ending cutscene were incredibly well done. I really liked them, and I also liked that there was a little bit of a tease at the end with some potential new characters. The problem I have with the ending, though, is that it really didn't show anything with Maximilian. You catch him, and then that's just kind of it, and it just fades to black and show Doomfist and the other guy. The character skins were also quite good, and I'm glad you decided to add more other cosmetics like voice lines than you've been in the previous recent events. Now, I'm wondering why you didn't make the victory poses into emotes as well, though, because it seems like Sombra and Zenyatta ones could have easily worked for that. Now, I realize that you probably would have had people complaining that you doubled up the victory poses and the emotes if you had done that, but hey, there's some other ones like Reaper's Shrug and some of the others, and they work fine. Personally, I don't have a problem if you double up the victory poses and the emotes. Also, I want to mention that the new map looks really awesome, and I'm assuming you're going to use it for a normal map like you did with Rialto, so I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. And now I hate to say it, but that's really the only good things about the event. So I guess let's move on to the bad. The event itself is incredibly lackluster. The Archive event is the major thing every year that pushes the story forward, and it was almost nothing to it. In previous years, there was a comic that led into the event itself and told a great deal more of the story. Then, in-game event continued that story, and you got to actually play out some of the story. But this year, no comic. And as I said, the animation was good, but the event itself was incredibly short. It just seems like there was a lot less to do in the event itself. And another issue is that the enemies are just recycled from what we had last year during the Retribution event. Also, 3 of the 4 heroes in the story mode have already been used in previous years. So not only are the enemies all the same, but the characters in the campaign are the same as well. The length of the map is just way too short, and to make matters worse, the sheer lack of enemies just makes the whole map feel empty. On the payload section, you move the truck halfway to the end before the first enemy even shows up. I went and checked my other videos to see how long it took me to beat Legendary. On Uprising, it was over 18 minutes. For Retribution, it was 16 minutes. For Storm Rising, 10 minutes. The difficulty has also been tuned way down. In the developer commentary, Jeff Kaplan mentioned that the Heavy Assault Talon units were nerfed a bit in order to make them more predictable, but the truth is, even on Legendary difficulty, the entire event is a cakewalk, and those Heavy Assaults, now they're just a joke. Maybe it would have been better to tone it down for the lower difficulty, but Legendary needs to be a serious challenge. I remember playing Legendary for Uprising, and that thing took no prisoners. Uprising Legendary mode beats you down and never lets up. And that's how it should be, because after I don't even know how many dozens and dozens of tries it took, I finally beat the Legendary mode for Uprising, and that felt like a huge achievement. For Retribution, it was about the same, but for Storm Rising, it took me only a couple of attempts at the Legendary difficulty, and most of the deaths that I had in those, and for the other people, was just goofing off because it wasn't really that much of a challenge and people weren't taking it all that seriously. I tried the normal story mode Legendary as well, and it seems to be pretty much the same issue. It's just not that difficult. I think you guys at Blizzard are well aware of the problems that the players have with other events being recycled year after year, but the one standout event that most people look forward to is the Archives, and when it's as lackluster as Storm Rising, I don't know guys, that's just not good. Jeff Kaplan and any of the other Overwatch devs, if you're seeing this, I really like the game, I want to see it improve. I even made a full video last week called The Plan to Save Overwatch, talking about some very minimal effort things that you guys could do to improve the game and the competitive ladder. I want to see this game get better, but I'm telling you, judging by what I see in the comment section, on my Discord and elsewhere, players are just not happy. And again, there's a fine line between being ungrateful for getting free stuff versus providing constructive feedback, and I really hope that this video has come across as providing constructive feedback instead of just kind of endless whining. But seriously, something needs to change because what's going on just doesn't seem to be working. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller because it's never your fault.